I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good afternoon. Well, shitty afternoon, but not a dangerous afternoon. Wow. What does that mean? TikTok user 513 guests. Am I taking guests? Not just yet. We're going to go through what's happening and then talk about things. Clearly something ramped up this weekend, and I'm going to explain what's going on and how all of this is related to Project 2025. So as the live's just getting started, thanks for everybody for joining. Thank you for those of you on IG that are joining. This is a really important live because I think we're going to need to be more aggressive about the solution and getting people to realize what is happening. So I'm going to connect the dots today on a lot of the news that's happening with all around the world. And it just seems like the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 have just ramped things up to an all new level today, over the weekend, and today as well. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you can connect the dots between everything that's happening in Venezuela and with Greenland and with ICE and with potential what's going to happen with NATO. I mean, the amount of insanity that's happening needs to be discussed, because we also need to discuss about how to fix it, because everybody whines and complains and talks about all the problems, and I will do that as well. But very few people talk about the solution, and we're getting to the point where things may not ever be able to be solved unless Americans act. It's our democratic republic. It's the United States population as a democratic republic, which means the people are supposed to be the ultimate leaders of their country. And the rest of the world is looking towards Americans to say, WTF, what are you guys going to do about it? So I'm not taking any guests just yet. So what are you guys going to do about it? The rest of the world is looking at Americans to see if they're going to do anything about a rogue government, clearly a rogue government that is taking over and causing us, or forcing the entire change of the current world order after World War II. A world order based on rules, based on promoting democracy, freedom, liberty, peace. All of it is being upended by, I would like to say one individual, but one individual is just being influenced to change the entire world order. So I hope everybody sticks around as we're just getting started. I'm going to go over the news and talking about rage against the machine. I don't know else how to say it, but we're going to have to rage against the machine. And I'm going to tell you what the machine is, exactly what the machine is, and who is doing it. And it's going to have a lot to do with the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025. A lot of people like to blame everything on a certain country, but they are clearly not the most nefarious threat to the United States and to our democracy. It is clearly the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025. So thanks for everyone joining this afternoon. These lives are 1 p.m. generally. I got started late today. 1 p.m. Eastern Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time is when I do the lives for about an hour. I'm going to probably keep them capped to about an hour. And I'd ask everyone to please follow me here, because this is not about just talking about the issues. This is talking about solutions and how do we rage against the machine. That's today's sort of subject, rage against the machine. I don't know if that's ultimately the best way to deliver the message, but I think people have to understand what the machine is. Who is actually doing this to the United States? Who is behind the scenes that is manipulating Trump to change the entire world order? The amount of chaos that started last week or a week and a half ago, and then that ramped up last night on a Sunday, is actually stunning. So thanks for the follows. Remember to please follow the videos as well and repost, because I'm always talking about how do you solve this with a 28th Amendment to making sure that we eradicate all the corruption from the political system. That's what's really important. And that's the machine. And we're going to be talking about raging the machine. So now, as we have more and more people that are joining, we're going to go through this. The simple fact is we're going to have to rage against the machine. Let me know in the comments if you think that is a proper message. Like, I'm trying to figure out the message because this is really important shit, everybody. Like, politics is about hope and hate. It's really that simple. And you have to have a very clear message. You can't have a laundry list of things that you want to do. And civics is about Americans getting involved in making sure that our democracy stays with the people, that we're going to have a government for the people, by the people. Because right now, we don't have a government for the people, by the people. We absolutely know that. We haven't had it for quite some time. Our representatives don't give a shit about the people. There's no checks and balances on a rogue regime. And I rarely use that word regime, but we're definitely at the point where we're acting, this is a regime. And we have to realize who is attacking the United States, our society, the people, our freedoms, our liberties, the rule of law, because everyone thinks it's Trump. And Trump is certainly the gateway to allowing this to happen. But he's not the cause. He's not smart enough. He doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have a strategy. He's just being manipulated. Now, it does seem like he really does know the plan at this point with Project 2025. And I'm calling it the 2026 takeover, because what we've seen in the past few days is absolutely insanity. What's up, Florian? Good to see you here. Just hang on a minute because I'm going to go through this now that we have a bunch of people here. Let me know in the comments again, rage against the machine. Is this what it needs to be about? Because I'm feeling the rage. I always promote, and I generally do it in a way that's constructive, what's up, Certain, that says that we need to bring representation back to the people, because that's the really part that's completely broken. We don't have a government for the people, by the people. We all know that. So we need to rage against the machine. So some people might ask, what is the machine? Who is the machine? Is it just one set of globalists? No, it's not. It's not some sort of conspiracy. This is a plan. This is a strategy. And it's happening because of Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation. And I'm going to call it the 2026 takeover, because what we're seeing here is clearly an attempt to completely destroy the current world order and take over Americans' democracy and turn us into a corporate dictatorship, or even worse, possibly a fascist state, whatever's happening. So who is the machine? Well, first of all, it's the Heritage Foundation and the Project 2025. If you're unfamiliar with the Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation, look up the Heritage Foundation. These are the people like Stephen Miller, Russ Vogt, and many others. Russ Vogt is the director of the OMB, and it's a very extreme conservative organization. I would just call it an extremist domestic tea organization at this point, because what you're seeing in Greenland is part of Project 2025. The threat to take over Greenland is an attempt by Project 2025, and you can look at it yourself, and I'm going to do a video on this later, is Project 2025 is about letting Europe fend for itself, to reduce the strength of NATO and basically cut ties with NATO and pull back from the world order. This is Project 2025's intent. It is stated in the plan. They want Europe to be self-reliant for their own defense. In the interim, they also want the United States to be able to protect itself only in its hemisphere. And that's why they want Greenland. Taking Greenland is part of the Project 2025 plan. And that is why Trump is so forcefully saying that he wants to invade Greenland, like you see behind me. Now, who else is the machine? Well, it's also foreign governments. Don't say it's not true, Hojo Maxco. It is true. Look up Project 2025. They want Europe to be self-reliant. I don't know if you're talking to me. Europe then wants to be self-reliant. The United States doesn't want to provide defense around the world. And Trump is certainly happy to just be a hemispheric player, one of the unipolar players in our hemisphere only. That is part of Project 2025. Now, who else is the machine? We know it's many foreign governments. The influence by money in many foreign governments into the American political system due to super PACs, whether you're talking about whether you're talking about Russia, whether you're talking about Saudi Arabia, the amount of corruption from foreign governments is incredible. And I can show you the receipts. I'm just not going to be able to do it here on this video. But we all know that foreign governments have far too much influence within our political system. We literally have agents inside and outside of our government from many foreign governments. You have sympathizers in Congress and in the Trump administration that are Russian sympathizers, that are sympathizers with Israel and many other countries. And they are doing the bidding on their best interests, not ours. And then, of course, you have the tech billionaires. And I can put up the chart behind me, which I'm going to do for a moment, is instead of this browser, we're going to put up the diagram that I show so often. It's going to be blocked a little bit. But we have all these interests that are influencing Trump behind the scenes. The WC Nationalists and the Heritage Foundation. They are the most nefarious. And that's what's happening in Venezuela and with Greenland. And if we take Greenland and NATO kicks us out of the NATO alliance, then that is part of Project 2025, and that's what will likely happen if we go to take Greenland. And Trump already said it again this morning that he's going to take Greenland by any measures necessary. The insanity is he uses the excuse that China or Russia will end up taking Greenland if we don't. That's bullshit. We already have a base on Greenland. During the Cold War, we had 12 military bases on Greenland. We have all the access we ever need to Greenland to protect ourselves. But this is in conjunction with Project 2025 and Russian interest. Russia wants nothing more than for us to be abandon NATO, to leave NATO, so that NATO and Europe have to fend for itself. And then Russia thinks, even though they're incredibly weak at this point, they think they'll be able to take back part of the old Soviet Union. But this is planned in between the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 and Russia, who want and are manipulating this administration to go after Greenland. A NATO ally. Greenland is managed by Denmark. It is a NATO ally. We have all the resources and access to Greenland that we could ever need. But this is more than that. It's about giving Russia what they want. And that's the dissolution of NATO. And then raging against the machine again is the political super PACs. We all know that the super PACs and the greed, this is not about corporations. This is about political infiltration inside of our government by money, by the WC Nationalists, by the pro-Israelists, by the corporate special interests, by the tech billionaires. Like, what the fuck, everybody? This is the United States of America. We have no representation. The people have no representation. The representation is all for these corporations, for these think tanks, for the foreign governments. We all know it's true. And what are Gen Z, Gen X, and Gen Y doing about it? Sitting on their asses. We're not doing anything. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are a lot of people protesting ICE, and that's great. That should happen. But we're not uniting around a common thing. And that common thing needs to be a raging against the machine or raging against the greed and the infiltration of our entire political system. It's been stolen from us. I don't know how else to say it. Sometimes I beat around the bush and I'm not very clear or not forceful enough, but there is a way to solve it. It's also the problem against the machine. The machine is both parties. Yes, the Republican Party and the MAGA Party is wildly corrupt and going off the rails. MAGA is a domestic tea. MAGA is the new Yahtzee party. There is no doubt about it. But the Democratic Party has not been doing us any favors over the last 20 years. They are not nearly as corrupted. But don't make no mistake about it. There is an incredible amount of money and influence in the Democratic Party as well. So both parties are the problem because the Democrats are not fighting back. The Democrats for the last 20 years have been too complacent, have been putting forth terrible candidates, And this is the result of it, because they are also manipulated by money. So when I talk about raging against the machine, it's both parties. But make no mistake about it. I want to be very clear. If there's free and fair elections coming up in 2026 in the midterms, everyone has to vote blue. There's no doubt about it, because it's a short-term stay of execution for democracy. If there are free and fair elections, most people that are reasonable and sensible know that the Democrats do have to win this next election. There's no guarantee. They're ready. Project 2025 is working on manipulating the election to potentially try and steal it. There's no doubt about it. But if there are free and fair elections, vote Democratic for sure. But that is not the ultimate solution. There needs to be more, and that needs to be eradicating and eliminating the corruption and the money and the greed and the powerful and everybody that's in control. The politicians, the economists, the tech billionaires, these think tanks, they need to go. And it takes 50 million people to make that happen. And that's why I'm so pumped up and amped up this morning, is because I'm going to continue to be that way, because we need 50 million people to take them down. Because the only thing the rich and the powerful and the people in control fear is a popular movement. And I don't know what happened to my video feed. Looks like I lost the camera. Let me try and get that back. One moment. So everyone, can you still hear me, or did you just lose the visual? Looks like you just lost the visual. So I'm going to pop up the other camera in the interim. Let's see. Hang on a minute. I know you guys can hear me, but I lost my camera, it looks like, and I need to try and get that back. If not, I will have to go with the FaceTime camera. Wow, just when you're on a roll and then your stuff cuts out. Okay, so let's get this back. Okay, so I'm back with a different camera. And thanks for all the comments, anyone. If you're one of the 50 million people that want to eradicate the corruption from our political system, please drop a 1 into the comments, because that also helps the live get shared out to more people. As Red Iron Ranch, all good now. Okay, thanks for that. Jay Crash, Trump is winning. Not Trump is winning. Trump is not the one that's winning here. There we go. Trump is not the one that's winning. The Heritage Foundation and Project 2025, they're the ones that are winning. The tech billionaires, they're the ones that are winning with their surveillance state. All Americans are losing, even if you're MAGA. Thanks for the 1s, everybody. Please pop in the 1. If you're one of 50 million people that want to eliminate all the corruption and you want to rage against the machine, drop the 1s into there. That helps expose the live to more people. The more comments, the better, because this is important. My videos have been doing really well. Many of them get tens of thousands of views, but we need more. We need to have more messaging out there, because the ultimate solution is having 50 million people that rise up. And it doesn't mean necessarily you have to go out and protest for weeks at a time. And now you say I'm cutting in and out with my audio, Red Iron. Is it the audio that's cutting in and out, or just the video? Oh, I think I know what's going on. So I'm going to see something. All right. I'm going to cut this down.